What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Tuesday with a 4-game slate here tonight. Last night was a disaster. Most of the plays didn't do much of anything. Like De'Aaron Fox, only able to hit one shot. I think he was like 1 for 10 from the field. So all my plays were just like, you know what, we're just gonna suck tonight. Tick, for example, another guy. He didn't do that great. Then Julius Randle came in and dropped a triple double. So that was kind of like a backhanded slap by Julius Randle because he was the one that went off in Tick's spot in the lineup pretty much. So, like, I don't know, just a disaster of a night. But let's see if we can have some better luck here with my money six. Six of my favorite plays on the board. Feel pretty damn good about them. So before we get going, be sure to drop a like in the video. I would greatly appreciate that. Maybe to give some better luck on the night with the like. So thank you goes a long way. And let's get into it, though. I'm going to go with John Wall. First up here at 9,000, a really good matchup against the Clippers. They've actually struggled a lot against point guards, probably because Patrick Beverley, he's a defensive-minded point guard, but he hasn't been playing starter minutes. He's only been getting, like last night he got 15 minutes, and some of these other guys behind him, like Lou Williams, he's not a great defender, so I think John Wall can definitely get some scoring ability against him. And I think he could drop over 20 points and then get a good amount of assists like he normally does get, and has that ability to go for over 50 DraftKings points. I think this game will be pretty high scoring. It's projected to be the highest scoring game on the slate, and also projected to be the fastest paced game on the slate. So at 9,000, I think John Wall can get us around 5 to 6 times value. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my first guy. And then I'm going to go with Hassan Whiteside. I recommended him in the same matchup the other day, going against the Brooklyn Nets, but he did get in foul trouble, which kind of ruined him a little bit. But in 22 minutes, he was still able to drop 14 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, good for 35 drafting points. So we got him at $400 less than that 8,400 tag that we had him on in that game. And he's back in Miami at 8,000. This guy's been a beast at home this year in 9 games. He's averaging 44 drafting points. So if he can stay out of foul trouble here in this game, get closer to like his 28 minutes or so that he normally gets, I think he can get us over 40 drafting points. He's a big double-double threat. We know that the Brooklyn Nets allow a ton of rebounds and just big double-doubles. 2 solid centers like we saw Dwight Howard have a monster game against them the other night. They just kind of feed into the centers. I feel like they kind of maybe want the centers to beat them and just not let the shooters get going. Maybe that's kind of their defensive plan, or maybe Jared Allen is just not a good defender. Not really sure, but I think Hassan Whiteside can have a big game here, like I said. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my second guy. Then I'm going to go with Tobias Harris, having a quietly really good, solid year. And at 7,600 here, he doesn't have crazy upside. He normally has like a ceiling of 45 or so, but he has a really good matchup going against Washington. They really struggle against power forwards, just stretch forwards. Like we saw Aaron Gordon have some solid games against them. Tobias Harris had a really solid game in only 29 minutes. That game wasn't really that close. He had 37 DraftKings points, dropped a nice double-double, 22 points, 11 rebounds, shot very well from the field, 9 for 14. So I think he can have another game like that where he shoots very well, gets some rebounds, and gets us around 40 DraftKings points. So I feel like he's pretty safe. He doesn't have that big of downside. Like, he's only had one game under 33 DraftKings points in his last 10 games. And that was against OKC, who is a little bit better definitely defensively compared to Washington. Washington's been like one of the worst defensive teams in the whole entire NBA this year. So I'm feeling some Tobias Harris here tonight. I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my third guy. Then I'm going to go with Tim Hardaway. He has a little bit of risk as he does rely a little bit on his scoring. Like, he doesn't put up that many stats besides his scoring ability, but he's just been shooting so much of the last 2 games, 20 shots, 23 shots, and he's a really high usage rate for a guy at the price tag of 7,200. So going up against Portland here, Tim Hardaway has been pretty much playing the small forward role for the Knicks with Trier starting at the shooting guard. So that means that Tim Hardaway probably has one of the better matchups on this offense, I think, because Portland, they run out Jake Layman as their starting small forward, and their backup small forward is pretty much like Evan Turner. So their defense against small forwards isn't great. And so I think Tim Hardaway can be able to score pretty well here in this match. So he's averaging 37 DraftKings points at home this year. And the Knicks, they kind of run a pretty fast-paced game. Like, a lot of their games have been extremely high scoring in the last few games, going against OKC, the Pelicans, and the Magic. Just really high scoring affairs. So this game could be definitely high scoring. And Tim Hardaway, the number one option for this Knicks offense can definitely have another good game here. And at 7,200, he definitely has really good upside. Like he had 45 and 47 DraftKings points the last 2 games. So I think he could definitely get us around 40 plus DraftKings points yet again here in this game with his usage spiking up. Probably because he's been getting a lot of minutes because they're running out some younger guys there. So he's the one that's like most comfortable in that kind of scoring kind of mode. So I think he can do that again here tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my 4th guy. Then I'm going to go with Dwayne Wade. He's back in the starting lineup here tonight. Maybe he'll come and give us a gem because he just had the birth of his daughter. Hasn't played since November 5th. So there's not much concern. Like D. Wade, sometimes you have that concern if he's not going to be able to get his full complement of minutes because he's kind of like tired from the night before or something like that. But he's had literally, 20 days almost of rest. So, like, he's probably going to be feeling pretty fresh. I'm guessing he could go, like, 30 minutes if they need him to go here tonight. And we have Dragic out of the lineup. He just had, like, his knee flush or something like that. And then we have Tyler Johnson also out. So, D-Wade, he could operate as that starting point guard for this Miami Heat or just come off the bench and get starter minutes. And also, the guy that would be maybe at the starting point guard, Winslow, has been extremely struggling this year. So, like, D-Wade could come in for him if he's struggling yet again. And D-Wade was having some pretty solid games before he came out with his daughter being born. He had 29, 21, 29, 2 out of the last 3, and averaging 24.9 DraftKings points on the year. So if he can do that again here with more guys out of his way, I think he's definitely capable of doing that, getting us over 25 DraftKings points and getting over 5 times value at 4,800. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my final guy of the core 5. Then we're going to take a little bit of a flyer here with Jonathan Isaac at 3,500. And this could be really beneficial because he's finally coming back, getting closer to his starting minutes that he was getting before he went down with an injury. Like he was getting around 25 to 26 minutes before he went down. He was having some pretty solid games, like 22, 37, 27. And then when he came back the last few games, he got 16 in just 16 minutes, 24 against the Lakers, 32 against the Knicks. So he definitely has the ability to return value at 3,500, and it would definitely be good if he's returning to the starting lineup here tonight. It's not a great matchup, definitely, against Toronto, a team that is pretty damn solid defensively. But the thing here is that he might honestly get matched up with a Kawhi Leonard on defense, and that could give him an opportunity of getting some blocks and steals just based on the fact that Kawhi Leonard is a centerpiece of that offense. So just based on the opportunities that he would have on defense against Kawhi, he does have the ability to get some blocks and steals. Like he's had some big defensive numbers in the last few games, like 3 blocks and steals, 5 blocks, 2 blocks, so that kind of adds to his floor a little bit. And if he can just score a little bit here in this matchup, then I think he can get us around maybe 20 DraftKings points or so. It doesn't need to do that much, like I said, at 3,500. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my final guy to get us closer to some manageable money remaining. So that is it, though, for the Money 6. You got John Wall, Tim Hardaway Jr., Tobias Harris, Isaac Whiteside, and D-Wade. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to drop a like I said. Apologize for the bad plays yesterday, but I hope these work out better for you tonight. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already to continue to get these videos every single day. Good luck, and we'll see you back here again next time.